I have watched a lot of meal prep videos, and most of them have someone preparing 10 full meals for the entire week with aesthetic containers and all lined up, like they look colorful and everything. But my one main concern about them is that it's the same food over and over again that you're eating. I'm not saying that that's something bad, because I too have my breakfast prepped. I do have that same thing over and over again, and trust me, I'm not bored of them. I don't think they're boring. But as someone who grew up eating different types of meals every single day, for me, the generic meal prep seemed a little too restrictive. So I built a system around 5 building blocks, and you can mix and match each component every day so that you can have more variety in your meals. And make sure to stay till the end, because I have a bonus tip for you. So if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Building block 1 is your protein, and here is where you can have a lot of flexibility. So the idea here is you need to have 1 to 2 sources of protein prepped in your fridge so that you can pull it out, just cook it on the spot, or have them cooked beforehand so that you can just use it in wraps, in bowls, or you can just eat it as it is. What I like to do a lot of the times is I'll just get a big block of tofu and I'll cut it into slices, pan fry them with some seasonings, and I'll store that in one container. And another way I like to prep protein is marinating it in different marinades, and I have a video if you're interested in trying out 3 really different marinades for your meals. I'll have it linked here. Essentially, that gives you a lot of variety throughout the week, and I'm not cooking it straight away. I'm just marinating it throughout the week. I'll pull one out, I'll cook it, and I'll use it in my meals and move on with my life. And one of the simplest forms of protein is yogurt. So I always have a tub of yogurt in my fridge whenever I want to make dips, whenever I want to make some salads or anything. I can just whip it up in a few minutes if I have yogurt in the fridge. And honestly, I also just like eating it by itself with my meals because it just adds a really good boost of protein. So apart from your main protein source and yogurt, you can also prep smaller batches of protein boosters, as I would call it. That would be dals or any bean stews, or things like rajma, chole. You can have a small batch of that prep so that you can eat it with different meals at different times. For example, just having dal as soup or having sprouts prepped so that you can just add it to salads. That's a really great way to boost protein in your diet. Now, speaking of salads, coming to your building block number 2, that is prepping a really good batch of salad in the fridge. Now, I really like dense bean salads, and when they went viral, I was crazy about them. So I started prepping them. I have my own version, which I'll have it linked here. But essentially, it's like a really good hearty salad that you can eat as it is, but you can also add it to wraps. You can eat it as a side dish. This is something I really like to prep because salads not only give you fiber, but they're also a great source to get a lot of different veggies into your diet. And salads are not supposed to be only raw. You can have different types of salads. Salads is a very loosely used term here right now, because honestly, you can just make a sabzi at home that can be, your methi sabzi or anything, and that technically can count as a salad. So just make sure that you have some sort of vegetable prepped in your fridge. It can be 1 or 2. You can either cook it or you can ingredient prep it. So just cut and chop everything and make sure it's ready so that whenever you want to eat it, you can just throw that in raw or just cook it with some spices. You can call that your salad of the day or your salad of the meal. So building block number 3 is your grain of choice. Now for me, it looks like either prepping a batch of rice, and what I like to do is cook a batch of rice and I store it in the freezer in these 1 cup molds. So I just pull it out whenever I need it and microwave it for a minute or 2, and I have really beautiful fluffy rice ready. And that can go with any other choice of grain too, like quinoa, barley, whatever you like. That's going to make your life way easier. The fourth building block is having a smart pantry stock-up. So that can look like having tomato paste on hand. It can be cans of chickpeas, cans of beans, and obviously you would have all your spices as well, but having these things ready along with, say, a pasta or any noodle of choice, that really helps bring together a meal in less than 15 minutes, because you have everything ready, you just have to put everything together. So I like to sort of make dump meals, in which I like to just dump everything together and cook it for, say, 15-20 minutes, and my meal is done. So that's something I really like to do as well, and that's one of my favorite building blocks. Now, your last building block is your flavor components. That can be preparing any sauces, any chutneys you like, ketchup or mustard on hand, for example, so that you can assemble sandwiches, and that can really help you get more variety in your meals, because flavor is everything. So if you prep even 2 to 3 components in a week, or just have them ready so that you can assemble everything together, that really will switch up your meal game, because you're going to have a different meal with every different flavor component that you create. So that really helps to get more variety, honestly. And if you're still here, I have a bonus emergency hack for you guys, and that's having a meal prepped in the freezer ready to eat. So that can either mean you have some frozen dumplings on hand, you can just quickly microwave them or pan fry them, especially when you are really tired or exhausted and maybe you don't have the energy at all. That's when you really still need a meal, and having that emergency meal really helps a lot. What I like to do a lot of the times, and I have mentioned it in my previous videos as well, is that whenever I cook something which I know that I really love, I make 2 batches of it and I freeze 1 portion. So when I'm super exhausted and don't have any energy, I know that I can rely on that meal to save me. And it's not that you have to cook it all the time, like you have to cook and put it in the freezer all the time. I also have frozen pizza sometimes. So having something in your freezer ready to eat will be a game changer. And I think this is super important, because the moment you realize that you don't have anything, the entire system collapses. That's why this is one secret building block that will keep you more consistent if you think about it. So yeah, that is it. 5 building blocks and a bonus one. That is the whole system. Honestly, you don't have to hit all 5 every single week. I mean, I would still recommend hitting the main ones. You can switch it up from time to time. You can either prep full meals, you can prep ingredients, but if you build your meal prep around these 5 building blocks, then it will not only make your life easy, but also help you get more variety and keep things less boring. And honestly, I'm on this journey as well, and I'm not perfect. I'm trying to get this system set up in my life too. I'm still working with it, but I still think this is going really well for me as of now. And I'll soon film a video showing you what I do to, build that system, how I create it, what meals I make. But I do have some videos linked throughout the video, which you can go and watch. It'll help you get some ideas on how you can prep your proteins or salads. And yeah, in general, I hope this video was useful. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.